So apparently two African nations is at odds over who can claim Vybz Kartel. Yes, you hear me correctly.
There's a war over between Ugandans and Kenyans as to whom can claim Vybz Kartel.
But people, this guy from Kenya come out and have a bag of things for talk, and trust me, it gets very, very, very interesting.
Vybz Kartel is very famous. His influence is stretching all the way to Uganda.
The man explain how powerful Vybz Kartel influences on the African continent.
The amount of influence that Vybz Kartel command in Kenya, especially to the youth, is so huge.
The people stick around for the details.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna
So before we get into the details, I really appreciate if you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't as yet. Alright, me people, so this is the guy who jump out and have a bag of things for say, me people.
I'm sure most of you have seen these videos of Vybz Kartel with a Kenyan brand t-shirt, and he's also making Kenyan politicians. Now, Ugandans do not like it.
Damn.
Ugandans are pissed off. They don't like it. Okay, so Ugandans, they also sing their own dancehall. Yes, Ugandans also have their own dancehall. As remote as it is, Ugandans also have their own dancehall. But that is not my point. Okay, I'm not trying to undermine Ugandans in either way. Okay, so long as we all love dancehall, so long as we all love the Jamaican people, there is no problem. Okay, but apparently there's a war over. There's a tug of war between Ugandans and Kenyans as to whom can claim Vybz Kartel. But
Damn, you hear what the G say? Apparently there is a war against Ugandans and Kenyans over who can claim Vybz Kartel. Alright, make we continue.
be honest, let me be honest with you. Kenyans and Vybz Kartel, they have been in close contact, in close association for over 10 years. The amount of influence that Vybz Kartel command in Kenya, especially to the youth, is so huge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to imagine if Vybz Kartel pulls up in a Kenyan airport and heads straight to Nairobi Eastland with his convoy. Imagine the amount of crowd that this guy can pull. I'm telling you, the area commandant will have to be notified that is a big Jamaican artist by the name Vybz Kartel. The entire traffic, they will have to use another route because there will be so much, the traffic will be so much huge. Did you see?
Damn, you hear what the G said? The G say anytime Vybz Kartel touch a Kenya, it nah gonna be pretty. Everybody in the country are gonna jump on him convoy. You see me, I say, my people. So it's been years that we hear how influential Vybz Kartel is upon the African content. We also even see him a lot of people impersonating Vybz Kartel, and I mean because them influenced by him, of course. And also all of them buses we are on the taxi down there, my people, plaster with Vybz Kartel picture. Plaster with Adidja Palmer, plaster with the world boss. It get crazy, my people, but let's continue.
When Richie Spice landed in Kenya, did you see his convoy? Did you see the amount of crowd that this guy pulled? Now imagine it's Vybz Kartel. Imagine Vybz Kartel has landed in Kenya and is heading straight to Nairobi Eastlands. Imagine the amount of crowd that this guy can pull, bearing in mind the amount of youth that this guy commands here in Kenya. I'm telling you, that guy is the third famous person in Kenya, third to opposition party. Ladies, I'm not lying. Vybz Kartel.
Damn, the man say Vybz Kartel is as powerful as the opposition party in a Kenya. It get crazy.
Vybz Kartel is so famous here in Kenya, ladies and gentlemen. The amount of crowd that this guy can pull is so huge, okay? And he's so famous in such a way that there are even some streets. There are some even streets that have been accorded his name.
Damn.
Yes, there are some streets here in Kenya that have been accorded Jamaican names due to the influence of Vybz Kartel. There are some.
You hear that, my people? The people them all start name streets based upon Vybz Kartel. Round this a name Adidja Palmer Lane. Round this a name World Boss Street. You see me, I say round this a name Teacher Avenue.
Even there are some Kenyan artists. One of them is called Rudra Kartel. This guy has mastered his entire lyrics, the entire lyrics of Vybz Kartel. Ladies and
the man said this guy master every lyrics down to the zero from Vybz Kartel. Him name Rudra Kartel.
Gentlemen, he can sing from A to Z.
Bad we bad, Gaza bad we bad. Bad we bad, Gaza bad we bad. Bad we bad, Gaza bad we bad. Back foot.
Huh?
Yo, bad we bad, Gaza, bad we bad.
Yeah? Unfortunately, in 2013, 2012, there was a group that was called Gaza. Okay, it was a criminal group, and this guy said that they were taking instructions from Vybz Kartel, which was unfortunate. Okay, they tried to identify Vybz Kartel good name, ladies and gentlemen. But the good thing is, the government had to intervene and also communicate to Vybz Kartel. You know, yeah.
Yeah, we have heard about that couple of years ago, you know what I mean, that this group was reigning terror on the Kenyans, named Gaza, you know what I mean, and them say a Vybz Kartel or them God, you see me I say, and Vybz Kartel did have to reach out and make them know, say, yo, hey, chill out. None of that when I represent them type of things there.
And of course, he separated himself from the group and he encouraged them to go to school and work hard like the rest of the Kenyans. Ladies and gentlemen, that is on the better side of it. That was on the wrong side of it. But you know, you cannot deny the fact that Vybz Kartel has so much influence here in Kenya. Now, our fellow Ugandans, our neighboring countries, Uganda, yes, you know Uganda is our neighboring country. Unfortunately, some of the Kenyans, they are very bullies. You know, Kenyans sometimes you can also be very, very bullying. You know, they call Uganda a village in Kenya, but it's not good. It's not good. But either way, you know, they also sing dancehall. And they have very good dancehall music, you know. Yes, Kenyans have their own dancehall. Ugandans also have their own dancehall. Of course, because of the influence of Jamaica. Jamaica's influence is stretching all the way to Uganda. The land.
Damn. You see our nation powerful, my people. You see our Jamaica culture powerful. It has stretched all across the African continent. Remember, this is an African guy talking these things, who is living these things.
Of Museveni, all the way to Namaingo village in Uganda, you know. Namaingo village, there is dancehall. There is Jamaican influence in Namaingo village in Uganda when you go right now there. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I'm telling you, Jamaican influence is stretching to places that you never imagined. And now we are speaking about just one Jamaican artist, Vybz Kartel. Just one Jamaican artist. Of course, apparently some of our Kenyans consider him as Marcus Garvey. But you see, when you start talking about Marcus Garvey, that's a complete different case. Marcus Garvey is a complete different case. And have I introduced myself? My name is called Real Marcos. If you're Jamaican, big up on yourself. If you're Jamaican, Wolipa, peace and love, you know.
Big up yourself, my general.
Big up on yourself to all Jamaican people and Ugandans and Kenyans war over Jamaican artist Vybz Kartel. Look at how Jamaican influence is really stretching, ladies and gentlemen. You see how music is very powerful. Music can shape the world. Music.
And I hear that, my people. Yeah.
Can influence the masses. Music can move the mountains, can influence the masses, ladies and gentlemen. Now Vybz Kartel, because of his music, it has put him in a very good position in this world, in such a way that he can influence huge amounts of people, ladies and gentlemen. The same way Peter Tosh, you know Peter Tosh, Vybz Kartel is the modern day Peter Tosh, even though those two guys, they were making two different genres, with Peter Tosh roots and reggae, and Vybz Kartel is dancehall, ladies and gentlemen. But you see how music, you see the importance of music and what music can do. Music can influence masses of people. Music has a positive impact to the masses, ladies and gentlemen. If it was not for music, nobody, as we speak, no one would have ever known Vybz Kartel. No one. As we speak, because of music, Vybz Kartel, Kenyans are so much in love with Vybz Kartel. Because of music, Vybz Kartel. God bless Jamaican people. God bless Jamaican people. God bless Jamaica. Jamaica, the land we love.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Jamaica, the land we love, you know. There have it, my people. A G from Kenya actually come out and I tell we how powerful Vybz Kartel influence is across the whole entire African continent. You see me, I say, my people, want to tell me anything about all of this in the comment section. And if you make it this far, I really and truly appreciate it, you know what I mean? So remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't as yet, so that way you don't miss out on the latest updates. And as usual, I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.